What's good, YouTube family? This your guy, DJ Bless One. Thank you for watching another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Salute to the I Smoke Hip Hop Nation. Look for the links in the description box for the I Smoke Hip Hop Clips YouTube channel. Look, man, I wanted to speak about Housephone and ADAM22 little fight situation, but I'm gonna be fair and transparent in this. This is not to disrespect Adam or to disrespect Housephone. Listen, I felt like I invested my time on the No Jumper platform as far as being someone who supports the brand, as far as they got a lot of exclusive interviews and content that other people are not privy to. So of course I know I've invested times over the years. Rest in peace to X. So yes, if you're a supporter of something, a brand or whatever, when has it been illegal to have a form of opinion and criticism? But this Housephone situation, I try to keep quiet for 3 to 4 days, but it's like I want to give my input. A lot of y'all been asking, hitting me up, how you feel about it. Now, a whole lot of things went down with the whole thing. Now, this whole thing is confusion. When I did this, it's because I don't like bullies or whatever. I'm not even a fan of Housephone like that, but I don't think nobody should be subjugated to that and being some type of laboratory rat in an experiment gone left. Now, Adam is very good at repairing situations that went all the way left, and he brings it all the way forward and makes it right again. So I guess he has a talent in that. But I also had something that I wanted to talk about because I seen DJ Academics and he referenced, if you go to his entire live he did on this at the 12-minute mark, 12-minute and 19-second mark, he referenced Stockholm Syndrome. I know what it means, but I had to do my due diligence to look into it again. So here we go. Stockholm Syndrome isn't a psychological diagnosis. Instead, it's a way of understanding the emotional response some people have towards a captor or a blank. You know what the blank is, the A word. Sometimes people who are held prisoners or subject to blank, the A word, can have feelings of sympathy or other positive feelings towards their captors. In this case, I guess it would be Adam22. So I don't look at it as a mental illness or a problem if you are going through Stockholm Syndrome. I feel like all of us have very small severities of that syndrome in us, where we like something that's not really good for us, and no matter what type of problems it causes in our lives, we continue going towards it. But sometimes we also have to say when is enough is enough. But I wanted to ask one whole thing before I carry on. Now, I said in my last video regarding the situation, the only way I can look at it with a closed eye and understand it if it was staged. A lot of people are alluding to this on Reddit, Facebook, and on YouTube. They're claiming this whole situation was staged. And it's that part about the entirety of it that you got to look back and sit back and ask yourself, because you have a man whose whole livelihood was thrown on television, or the mistress called the internet, is embarrassing his girlfriend. His families are calling in, so everybody wanted to come and hold this gentleman and be a bearer of good news for him and a comfort for him. So it's now coming to a realization that Housephone has to be the one to take accountability. Since you want to make peace and say everything is all right, you threw some water. Notice I didn't even get into him throwing water, because whether it's true or not, that's the part that felt a little bit scripted. So I'm going to navigate away from him throwing the water, because it just seems too much WWF, not E. I'm an old school type of individual. We don't say WW Entertainment. We say WW Federation. You feel me? But anyways, rest in peace to Andre the Giant. Now, the mom funeral thing made sense. I don't care if he threw water or a punch, whatever. That was an emotional space that Housephone didn't want to indulge and get into, because just because if you guys probably lost a mother or a father, it doesn't mean entirely you know how Housephone is feeling, because your mom isn't my mom and my mom isn't yours. Different relationships, different complete situation. So I understand him getting mad, but at the same time, I think Adam in his mind is, I helped you out with your mom's funeral. So therefore, if he paid for it, he's looking at it as giving me that gradual stance where, bro, if I really wanted to come at you, why would I pay for her funeral? That's all also why I was thinking in my head, was this stage or not? Not saying it's stage. People behave in different ways and they react in different ways. Doesn't mean it's staged. So I didn't want to linger on too much of the stage part. And we'll get into some more things. Now, Housephone should feel relieved. You should feel relieved that this burden you've been holding in for so long, maybe that's the thing that caused some of your hostilities through certain peers or situations. You get enamored with so many, and bombardments of how do you feel about this topic or X, Y, and Z, to only now your truth is coming into the light where you're probably feeling more relaxed, more comfortable, and you can probably breathe better amongst your peers. That is if they're your peers, because if they're not your peers and they're gonna really behind the scenes talking behind your back, I can understand the anxiety kicking in, where you might not want to be around some of these dudes. But to each his own. You're actually not embarrassed. You actually come there and you owned up to your truth. So I guess it is what it is. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is to people like me and many other content creators. We need to learn how to be very careful. Let me say it like Looney Tunes. Be very, very careful. We need to learn how to be very careful in who we defend. Like, I try to defend dudes like Flacco, and it got thrown in my face. I try to defend people. Well, I'm not gonna say Lush One and Almighty Suspect. I got a several video, two videos or one video about Almighty and Lush One, just to talk about something behind the scenes that happened on one of my lives probably last week, and wanted to ask them a question respectfully, and they're going to understand who I am, and we can have a proper understanding of each other, because I think there's a confusion. Now, fast forward, we need to be careful who we defend. Some of these individuals, maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome, maybe it's not, but we're looking through a tunnel vision and we're thinking of them as our own self. And maybe me, because I grew up, I don't want to call it being bullied. I never cried about people teasing me or whatever. For instance, I call myself Ugly Nigga Gang. You feel me? But when dudes are going out their way to pick on the dude that's considered the little one, it makes me feel some type of way. So in this case, Housephone scenario made him the little dude, because that's something he should open up whenever he feels ready. So for it to be revealed in front of the whole world, I thought it was a perfect time just to show people I'm an honorable dude. I don't really make fun of stuff like that. So when I make that video, it's for people to get more clarity in who DJ Bless One is. You guys know the IsmokeHiphop Live platform and brand, etc., etc., but do you know the individual? So I want people to know, all my life I'm 6'2" or 3 or whatever. The other day people found out my height, and for years they thought I was 5'1" or 4'8". I don't know why that came about, but I liked it like that. So exclusivity, whatever you want to call it, it feels good to be within your own world, and you don't have to share with everybody. So if the Housephone situation, I'm not going to go out my way to be defending people like that, because I don't understand the situation. And being that I don't understand the situation, other bloggers don't either. This is why I will have integrity to admit we need to learn how to mind our own business sometimes. If people don't have any shame and what type of fools they're looked at on the internet, or what mockery others are making of them on this platform called the internet, then who am I to get mad at ADAM22 for running his show, running his content his way? Because at the end of the day, these individuals who we keep speaking up for, they go back. So being that they go back, it must be something that they love so much about the brand. I don't care if it's Stockholm Syndrome, if it's a paycheck to paycheck, or people don't want to lose their positions in life, or maybe it's a position in life or an environment that they grew accustomed to and they love it so much that they can't think of doing anything else. I don't know. But being that's the case, I got to learn how to mind my own business. Now, Adam has a business to run. He doesn't have time to get into personal feelings or whatever, because all these individuals, he knows them, they know him, and we don't. So I gotta look at it in contrast. You feel me? Now, when you look at the friendship or rules, it should be left off the screen. Meaning that, being that I just said it right there, it's a business. Some of the things about friendship and all that, we don't really need to know all the time if it's a lovely relationship, because when these things happen, it feels confusing and weird, because we're thinking it's a genuine vibration or whatever, but we're getting the gist of something else. Especially these last 45 days, it's been hectic on the No Jumper platform. Now fast forward, you got Housephone's rap career, where I seen a video last month where he did it with TS Gracie Jane. Some of his haters later sent it to me. I choose not to blast him doing a rap because they were telling me Housephone was been in the open with this person. He's conduct business, and I told him I know that. I'm not in a business. You see that plaque behind me? I got that plaque doing this the right way. I'm not in a business of doxing people, exposing people. It was a couple of trolls who came on my platform the other day, and they thought it was like a beef with me and No Jumper. And I'm like, bruh, just because somebody gives an open opinion and criticism on something, it does not mean now they're designated the opposing enemy or the opposition in this other individual's life. That would be insanity, because nothing they do at the No Jumper platform or brand has anything to do with how I eat and conduct myself and take care of my family. So I should look at it through the same lens on their side. So you got to be fair and non-biased. Now let's continue. Now, this experimental situation, what is that? So at the end of the day, Housephone needs more clarity in some of the things, because if you ask me my personal opinion, he didn't really open up to him and T.S. Gracie situation. Not that is my business, but I'm looking at it in the totality, to be fair, right? We got to be transparent, no pun intended. But this man said, I've done some experimental things, and you kind of jumped on some of the chat knee grumps that were on DJ Academic's panel, whatever. And you got to expect these things, Housephone. You're in the open. You accepted these things. You allowed yourself to navigate yourself back on the platform. Then you got to know what's coming with this. You're on the internet. Whether you were gay or not, people are going to call you these things and call you names. If you know what they did to my family and kids from calling cops or whatever, things like that, this comes with the territory. You understood that, and mission accomplished, because you're handling it well. So let's not get over ourselves and being some type of victim here that needs to breathe, because at the end of the day, if it was that serious, you wouldn't have been back. Now, again, with there's no accountability. There's just, well, I was experimental. To each his own. Blessings. But like I said, if you're gay, you're gay, bro. It's not my business to what an individual wants to do in their bedroom. I promise you it's not my business. I don't try to get engaged into that or deep into politics about that. Just because we disagree don't mean I'll hate you because you like this or like that. That's insanity. I'm still trying to figure out what is this life and this world that we live in. I still don't even believe in the continents that we have. I believe in multiple continents, or whatever you want to get into, call it conspiracy or not. I have other bigger fish to handle than worry about the sexuality of an employee at a hip hop. And speaking of hip hop, let's keep it that way. If it is a hip hop platform, I need to know, is it a hip hop platform or it is just everything goes? If that's the case, I definitely need to mind my own business. But I'm an advocate of hip hop, and I will critique things that's necessary. Even though I said the things I've said, as you guys seen me in the comment sections, I will continue supporting the No Jumper brand. They didn't do anything to me. I just will choose not to watch certain contents that I don't like I do with any other platform. But unsubscribing from platforms, I don't really do that. That's kind of too emotional and Karenistic behavior. Look, man, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One. If you love what you got today, man, let me know how you feeling about all this, man. Rock body hard, man. Listen, love your family, love your kids, and definitely stay blessed. Uncle Ruckus got something to tell y'all for me right quick.
Nah, I give you good entertainment. I give you content. Folks, hit that like button. I give you good folks commentary. Now hit that like button now, nigga. Hit that like button, nigga. Support the plot. Share it now. You hear me? You hear me? Nah.
You hear me? Share this video now and make sure you bring it to all streaming platforms and social media platforms out there. Salute. I'm your guy, DJ Bless One. Love y'all.